How do we turn personal pain into purposeful action? My guest today, Queen Sheba Cisse, is a true testament to the power of unlearning silence, survival, and self abandonment out loud. On this episode with this beautiful guest, she shares her deep personal story of growing up as a Black woman in the United States and navigating inequality, and how that journey led her to advocate for women and children in Senegal. We explore her work with Queen Sheba Village, and how she serves others. But we're going to learn about the process of how healing and reclaiming dignity and purpose is also woven into what she does. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, my dear sister Edna. It's a pleasure and a beautiful opportunity for me to be here with you.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So, share with my audience who you are and what you're doing right now.
Okay, humbly, my name is Queen Sheba Dubois Cece. Queen Sheba is my birth name by my father, who was a bishop.
Okay.
And I'm the youngest daughter of Daisy Renee Dubois and my
Okay.
father, Senior James Edward. And we're from Alabama, but we have roots in Louisiana. And those roots
Okay.
from Louisiana took me to my birth town in Alabama.
Okay.
And I'm a founder, an advocate for philanthropy on the social behalf of impoverished women and girls, youth, orphans
Mm,
in Senegal, but not just Senegal, even here in the U.S. of A. Because I
that's
can,
wonderful.
before I can go to Senegal, my roots are right here in the country.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes. Yes. Well, I want you to know that I am from Alabama, so I'm very excited to meet you. I hardly meet anybody from there.
Are you kidding?
I am
Wow.
from Alabama, Thomasville, Alabama, Clark
Go,
County.
Bama, go. Okay.
So that's where I am from originally. I came up here to live. My mother moved here, so I came with her. And when I was young, but I used to go back a lot. My dad was alive. I don't go back so often now, but yeah, I'm from there. I love football. Football's happening now, so go Bama.
Uh-huh. Spirit always connects, doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yes, yes, it's amazing. And it's so funny you talk about finding about your heritage. I did my heritage, and my grandfather on my father's side is from Sierra Leone, and
Okay.
my grandmother is from Haiti.
Oh,
And
wonderful. Okay.
they're actually in that the registry. I found their
Mm-hmm.
registry, and my dad was born here in America, but he was in my grandmother's belly when he came.
Mashallah. Okay. Wonderful.
Yes,
That's
yes. So
amazing you say
it's wonderful.
that's amazing you
Huh?
say Haiti because it's some
Yes.
ancestral from Haiti through my mother's story through my aunt. And
Okay.
but a lot of people from the islands were also trying to trace their ancestral back to the motherland as well. So, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm thrilled that you're doing some work there. One of my trips is going to be to Sierra Leone, and and embrace that part of my life. So
Wonderful.
I'm really thrilled to have you on, and we want to talk about operating in the place of survival and just your story on how you were unlearning that silence. Can you share a little bit about that with my audience?
Sure. Well, I've always been the more talkative, expressive of the children. I have two brothers as well, but of the children, I've always been. My mother would say, and even my sisters would say, I've always been the most expressive. So basically, when I seen or felt any type of injustice,
Yeah,
racism, the things that we all can relate to, is being in our black
sure.
beautiful skin.
Yes.
I would speak up about it, and not much so much in the South because I was still young.
Hmm.
But as we moved up
Right.
to the
Me too.
north,
Right.
as we moved
Yes.
out of Alabama and came up to the north of Boston, Massachusetts, and the north,
Hmm.
we understood and we could see things and what you call it, the segregation and the
Yes.
problems that was happening in Boston at the time. So I was, I didn't experience much so-called racism, but I did see it, of course. A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
you don't experience something personally, you see it amongst your peers and other people, and a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
of, things of yourself. So
Yeah.
being that I'm very talkative and I was expressed injustices of inequality and type of thing to my
Mm-hmm.
mom. And then, of course, she worked in, which is very common. Most of our mothers and grandmothers worked in white folks' homes to take care of
Yep.
us, to make us look good.
Yep.
They sacrificed a lot. So
Yeah.
with all of that and reading, and I love museums, I love documentaries, I loved at the
Oh my
time.
goodness, you sound like me.
At
You
the
sound
time,
like
at
me.
the time, Sister Edna, we didn't have no internet. We had no, we had the
Yeah.
library. We had National
Yeah.
Geographic. We had
Yes.
PBS, WETV.
Yes.
These
Yes. On
different
Saturdays. On
on set.
Saturdays.
Yes,
Sit right
yes.
there.
Yes. So
Yes.
as we grew up, we learned more
Mhm.
about, like I said, injustice, racism, and that stuff
Right.
still shapes us today. And it's, because we still see it. It's still happening. So it's not like it
Absolutely.
happened last year and 10, 20 years ago. We still live it,
Right.
you know? And how I
Mm-hmm.
cope is because I love to read and research, which took me to history, which took me to
Mm-hmm.
look at my mother, who I admire, my grandmother, who I admire,
Mm-hmm.
my great grandmother, who I never met, which took me back across the transatlantic. But before we even got there, because of the
Right.
research, the history, the
Right.
reading, the writing, the
Mm.
documentaries, we put these things together to find
Right.
out who we are, why is this happening, who these other oppressors are,
Mm-hmm.
and we go into ourselves. And
Right.
if you tap into your spirituality, and
Right.
you can only do that for me, and I think you may agree, is when
Yeah.
if you're close to your parents and your uncle,
Mm-hmm.
your auntie, your people in your family, and you
Right.
look at their lives and you kind of
Mm-hmm.
put things together as to
Sure.
it's like a puzzle. Your life,
Mm-hmm.
the
Sure.
situation where we live at, what we're
Mm-hmm.
going through, and
Right.
the different tools that I just use to say TV,
Right.
libraries, reading, writing, talking to your mother, your grandmother, looking at their issues, their pain, and their impoverished ways, not ways,
Yeah.
but life,
Patterns. Yeah. The patterns that they
the
have. Yeah.
patterns, and
Mm-hmm.
it shapes their behaviors. It shapes the way
Yes.
they
Exactly.
speak, the way they act. Not that they were ungodly, unruly. They were very
Right.
beautiful women,
Right.
historical women, and feminine women. And
Exactly.
you put all of these things together, and you say, "Wow," And how can I make a difference? What can
Yeah.
I do? You don't know what to do, really. You just kind of
You
like
don't.
drowning in sorrow.
Yeah.
But as we got older, you go to school. I educated myself. I got married. I had my children, which was a challenge. And it just
Mm-hmm.
led me to do more research and to really want to take action and go deep. And the only way I
Right.
could go deep in my research is to know exactly who I am and
Right.
consciousness,
Right.
meditation, and really travel.
Right.
Travel open up a huge. It opens up
Tell that truth right there.
yeah, it opens up a universe. If you get the chance
Yeah.
to travel, and you
Yeah.
don't even have to travel outside abroad. You
No.
can travel right
No.
in this U.S. of
That's
A.
correct.
and learn a lot, and come in
That's right.
contact with different great, wonderful people,
Exactly.
like-minded like yourself, who are kind of
Exactly.
searching and looking and reading and
Mm-hmm.
writing, and the universe, omnipotent God, call him, if you Christian, Jesus, hey Salam, you might want to call Allah,
Right.
you might want to call Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
whoever, however, the omnipotent source.
Right.
You put things together and say, you know what? Okay, let me master this. And the only way you can master
Mhm.
anything, you try to master yourself, your
That's
feelings,
right.
heal
That's right.
yourself, and
Right.
through this pain and trauma. And the biggest problem is, how can we heal ourselves if we don't know that there's not you don't we don't believe there's nothing wrong with us in the first place.
Exactly. But I
So
think we
once
do, sis. I think we do. I think we
yes,
do because we We feel it. We
We
just
feel
don't
it.
acknowledge it.
We feel it.
We just don't acknowledge it,
We
and
feel
we
it.
override it.
We
We
feel it.
override it.
We
Yeah.
feel it.
Hmm.
And once we feel it, and once we come to terms and authentically to
Yeah.
take off any kind of mask, we want to acknowledge
Hmm.
it. Once we
Yeah.
acknowledge it, this when we really at this point, we saying to ourselves we want to get into some type of action to
Right.
internally, and then you want to go externally, and
Yeah.
get into some type of action to start completing the journey. It's a
Right.
lifetime of a journey, and
Yeah.
that took me to doing something about the injustices or the racism issues that I didn't
Yeah.
approve of. And my work is a source of healing. And I wrote my first book, which is a traveling guide. It was called
Hmm.
Return to Glory. I started writing it. I was writing articles. What was happening was people was asking me about Senegal. They were asking me, well, oh, you went there? What happened? And
Yeah.
how'd you do that? And
Hmm.
how about the Gory Island thing? And people would ask me about my travels as I came back and forth.
Right. Right.
And because of that, one thing led to another, and I said, let me put together a little book. Let me do a book. And the articles were good, but I said, let me write a book, and I did, and it was published by Mind Publishing House, Mind Publishing, uh, and I just went from there and kept continuing to
Hmm.
do my work overseas and talk with people, and I can only give back. To myself and to others when I started the nonprofit work in Senegal, West Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you gave us a real, you know, robust referral to you, and I thank you so much for that. And part of what you're saying, and I really want to break down some of the pieces that you did share. You were saying something about recognizing when we're operating in that survival, those old patterns that we have
Hmm.
from that we live, we see in our lineage coming through. So
Hmm.
rather than living like that, how did you start to navigate? Because I could see for myself, I tell my mother all the time, I'm glad I was born when I was born, because this big mouth of mine, I don't know, I think it would have got me in a whole lot of trouble. And she always says I'm the kid that challenged everything, and like you, I challenged everything. I went the next level, but that was God. That was your purpose.
That's
That
your
was
purpose.
who you were. And
Amen.
and I loved how you said that you start to work on the inside as well as the purpose from the inside and the outside, right? A
And that's
lot of us don't
exactly.
do that, but not, a lot of us don't do that. We know there's something wrong, right? And oh, we're gonna go fix this one, but we're not gonna fix ourselves.
It's
That's kind of like survival mode, right?
that is the problem too in that a lot of us don't know how. We don't
Yeah.
know how. We feel it, like you said, we know it, but it's like I know someone did an injustice to this person or murdered somebody, but you
Right.
can't prove it. So you
Right.
don't know how and where to start the research to try to track it down. So,
Right.
and like I think we all are shown differently in different ways, maybe,
Right.
and
Right. Sure.
some of us are shown this in the same type of path. And but what helped me was reflection, observation,
Of course.
praying.
Yeah.
We've always been a prayerful people. That's just who we
Right.
are.
Really.
Spiritually,
Absolutely.
mentally, I mean,
Hmm.
psychologically. It's just, we are. I mean, look at what we've been through. I mean, come on. I
For
mean,
sure. For sure.
we was created this way. That's the bottom line,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that took me the time spent on myself, trying to master myself, looking at my life between the time I can remember myself at 5 and 6. I don't
Right.
remember anything before 5 and 6, but from 5 and 6 on, I remember a lot of things. And I said, I want to master myself. I want to master
Hmm.
my thoughts and who I am, who my creator is, and I was just all into it. The Bible,
Right.
then started reading the Quran, but it took time for all of these different things down the road.
Sure.
But
Uh-huh.
because of the interest in and looking at your mother, who was a good, powerful a father too, but your mother and your grandmother, the people that are who helped shape you,
Yeah.
who taught you and showed you the way to go, and who is still showing us the way to go. The
Right.
living and in the past, our
Right. Right.
ancestors who have transitioned back to God.
Right.
These things, like I said, put it in the puzzles and the pieces together. They help
Hmm.
us in our journey. They help
Right.
us in
Right.
our journey still to this day.
Right. So how does your work, the work that you do, and I know it's deeply rooted in your own story, how can people use their power, their personal trauma to fuel their advocacy and service without bleeding all over them? If I could say, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
how can we
yes,
we do that effectively?
yes.
That's, let me say, yes.
You said something so important, which is a lot of things that you've said, but what this one stuck out, and you said the word meaningful purpose, meaningful
Hmm.
purpose.
Yes.
And that's where I was searching and scratching and digging.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I knew to help me with any type of trauma that I felt and faced, which is injustices and
Hmm.
racism and the impoverished things that our parents went through in the deep South. I knew I had to, for me, it was my healing came through serving other people. And
Right.
it just wouldn't, and it just doesn't have to be, of course, people of color. It's serving
Right. Sure.
humanity.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
it's serving humanity is a healing process and a healing tool and beauty for me, and to give back. And because I said maybe whatever I'm feeling, was I like
Hmm.
this 220, 200 trillion years
Oh,
ago?
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I
That's good.
don't want to go. No, I said because
Mhm.
we know and we believe we are immortal. We are the image of the likeness of God, and we
That's
have
right.
no beginning and no ending. I said
Oh, that's a
something
very
like
good
that.
question. Oh, I like
I
that.
want to. I say
Mhm.
I want to go there to myself, and and
Yeah.
that there was just like in multiverses of dimensions. And I said, I love people. I love talking to people. I
Yeah.
enjoy women. I enjoy people, period. And I said,
Right.
I want to give back to society and to
Yeah.
people whom, whatever
Hmm.
I felt, was suffering like me or even worse.
Yeah.
I wanted to
How
learn.
do how do we how do we identify those things? Because I think that's self-sabotage, what we do to ourselves, and we prevent ourselves, like you said, for going to those levels. How do we prevent that, or how do we identify the ways that we do that, the subtle ways? Because it's not always the overt ways, like we always used to, I don't like that or something, but it's something really subtle that kind of like, interferes with us, making sure that we're in alignment to receive. How do we see that? How do we identify that?
The Almighty God
Hmm.
will send you either some type, well, for me, we all get it
Yeah.
differently.
Right.
Some
Right.
type of
Exactly. We know
sign,
what you mean.
some type of
Uh-huh.
sign. It could
Okay.
be it could be a people, a person, people, places.
Hmm.
It could be like, I don't want to use the word, but I will. I mean, deja
Yeah.
vu. It
Oh
could be
yeah, go ahead. Use
something.
it. Use it.
It could be something
Mm-hmm.
from way back, or from the ether coming, or
Right.
something, some type of, I don't know
Right.
how to explain it because I'm not good at explaining everything that I went through and feel. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
some powers are locked in you, and you can't express it uh, in your verbal voice, but you may can express it in your actions, in your
Right.
physical, tangible actions. and
Mm.
you'll be shown. Trust that. You will
Mhm.
be shown
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
how.
Okay.
Sometimes the how is not explained and can't be explained sometimes. And
Right. Exactly.
even if I
Yeah.
did explain it, it might not happen to you that way, or you might not can relate to it that way. It depends on whom you're speaking with and what her
Right.
experiences have been up until now.
Right.
Her evolvement, her transition,
Yeah.
her transcensions, and type of things
Mhm.
like this. So I think you will
Right.
be
Right.
shown. So trust that. Just trust that you will be
Yeah.
shown.
Okay. Good. What's the most uncomfortable truth you had to face about yourself on your journey to self mastery?
Being too judgmental, overthinking.
Mm.
Um, uh, uh, trying to figure it out is another, could be another
Hmm.
situation that we have to
Right.
let go of and stuff, and just
Okay.
trust the process, because the answer,
Hmm.
a lot of times, you'll be shown, and you'll be shown why you didn't get the answers at the time and why this didn't happen. If you're being patient, because the word
Right.
patience is a very powerful word. As sabr, I can't pronounce it well.
Yeah.
It means the patient, and it's one of the last
Yeah.
attributes of God that we
Right.
use. And Miss Etna, my dear sister, you will be shown. You practice
Oh.
patience, practice
Mm.
practice forgiveness of yourself, and
Yeah.
practice patience. And
Yeah.
that's your true, and it helps you with your authentic self, because you can't wear a
Yeah. Yeah.
mask in this journey. There's no mask
No.
that you can wear. You
No.
have to
Mm-mm.
put it out there. Come
That's
out,
right.
be authentic, and that's
Hmm.
how you help heal yourself, and that helps heal other people
Other
as
people.
well.
Yeah. Absolutely. You talk about self forgiveness, and that's one of the acts that we normally forget when we've forgiven everybody else. We forget about, for us. And I know I talk about it a lot, but I want to hear from your perspective. What does it truly look like to forgive ourselves of past mistakes?
For me, I can say, uh, indive yourself, indulge in prayer, indulge in
Hmm.
reflection, and indulge in
Mm.
self observation, indulge
Right.
in meditation. And indulge in something what we call zikr. Zikr means remembrance. You
Oh,
know,
that's good.
you're trying to, once you seek forgiveness, and once you seek to
Mhm.
forgive others, and
Right.
once your patience, is all these different tools that we use to help us get there, and help us reflect, and help us understand ourselves, read, and it's like I said, it's a combination of things. It's not no one
Hmm.
way of something. It's a combination of things that we put
Right.
together to really, um, have mercy on ourselves, and ask the
That's a
omnipotent
good one.
source of God to have mercy on us, and to embrace all the
Hmm.
problems, embrace it's a journey. It's our journey.
Oh,
All
absolutely.
our journeys is unique, and
Yeah.
just trust the process. You have to
Yeah.
trust. You have to
Yeah.
trust.
And I think that's the hardest thing for us is to trust the process. Because I was coaching one of my clients one time, and I said, just trust the process, right? And they were like, I'm so tired of hearing this word process. What is it? And I said, well, it's trust your journey. Really, it really is just trust your journey. Trust that you're walking the way you're supposed to go. And it's so very scary because
It's very,
you're
very, very
traveling in the
scary.
unknown, an unknown. It's very scary, and I
Very.
feel that way sometimes. But like you said, you have to trust it. And so when I get off, and I start worrying, then I go, oh, nope, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust the journey. This is bringing me to a journey. This is bringing me to meditate more. This is bringing me to pray more. This is bringing me to align more, to master myself. It's helping me to do that, right? So how
Yes.
do you
Easier said than
how,
done. You're right.
Yes, right. Easier said than done. But it is good to do because what you said, all those things help us to stay grounded. And that prayer and that meditation, that reading, that research, indulge in something other than worry. Because we love that. We love that as humans. We love that. We love
Absolutely.
worry. We love
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
We love worry. So, we often talk about that seeking validation, whether we got it in our as a child or not, from the outside world. When How do we start to internally turn that from outside? And that's one of the stories I had to really get right with myself. I found as I was digging around trying to find myself, found that I needed external validation. I had to turn it inward. Can you talk about how to do that? Turn the outside validation inward and work on that?
For me, I was given a gift, and that gift came from my father. When I was born, my father said to my mom, "This is the Queen of Sheba." He said,
Mm-hmm.
"This is Queen of Sheba." That
Mm-hmm.
taught me so much about the biblical Queen of Sheba, the Prophet Salam,
Mm-hmm.
alayhi salam, and his father David, alayhi salam. Peace be upon these beautiful people. And
Right.
from there, he taught me. He gave me so much inspiration in the name, and then I had to read the
Mm-hmm.
stories of the biblical stories to him every Sunday. And people would say, "Do you know who that person, the Queen of Sheba, is in the Bible?" I said, "Oh yeah, I know for a fact." That was a motivation and inspiration for me to
Mm-hmm.
motivate and inspire and master and learn who I am, of
That's
consciousness,
good.
so to speak,
That's
not
good.
externally.
Mm-hmm.
My name is so and
Yes.
so. This is so. No, it took me inward. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of sealed the deal to help me in this journey of to not seek the validation, because some of us seek validation from our parents, and we have that trauma. We seek love. We came from a loving family. Our family had problems and issues like every most common
Mm-hmm.
families do, but the inspiration, the proud things that my father did for me, and
Mm.
that name, it kind of sealed the deal for a lot of different things to help me with my self-esteem and how I felt about myself, because we have to, it's important to feel good about Sister Edna. It's
Yeah.
important for
Yeah.
Sister Edna to feel good for her, what she's
Mm-hmm.
doing. This, when you had sent me that, um, you asked about the podcast and the name.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's her." I said, "That's her." I didn't know much about you, of course. You're still young. I'm learning you, but looking and spirit says that is her. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that just is like a ping, ping,
Yeah.
and yeah, not even knowing that
That's,
you
that's
had an Alabama roots. I didn't know any of that. So but I did hear you speaking on certain
yeah.
talks and everything,
Yeah.
and then when you had did that, that kind of sealed the deal for me. And I said, "Oh, that's her."
Absolutely. You got that right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I really thank you for what you're saying and how what you gave. Can you just give the audience again, how they can reach you, what you would like from them for the support of what you're doing, and this the last word on what can uplift and inspire them.
You can always reach me on social media, and just put in my name. It could be in Google research. It could be on Facebook or
Okay.
LinkedIn, preferably LinkedIn. And the work
Yes.
that we do is right up under my name and profile and everything. And the emails are there, the phone numbers are there. And you can
Okay.
reach out and support the work if you love humanitarian activities. We really
Hmm.
appreciate it. We're a volunteering operation, and we have fun with it, but it is a very lot of hard work. It's no doubt, it's a
Yeah.
challenge, and it was given to me by my late husband, spiritual scholar, brilliant Imam Hassan Sisi, Medina by
Mhm.
Kolak. I like to mention
Yeah.
that because the story can be told uh, without mentioning his name.
Yes.
Rahimullah, may God have mercy on his soul and increase his paradise for the humanitarian work that he did on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And what I like to say to the audience is be your authentic self. But in order to do that, we have to go within, we have to shift, we have to research, we have to read, and we have to get in a place that is still, and we can find the answers. It's possible. It's a lot of
That's
work, but we have to do the work.
Yes. Well, Queen Sheba, thank you for your raw honesty and for showing us what truly means to really heal out loud. Your story is powerful, and we can remember it. That our pain can be our greatest gift to the world. To learn more about Queen Sheba's mission and how to support her work, visit her organization at givebutter.com at Help Women Girls. If this episode has spoke to you, share it with somebody who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. And we'll make sure that Queen Sheba gets the comment and gets back to you. And remember, when you unlearn the silence, you give yourself and others permission to heal. Bye for now.
Thank you.